I'm joined here this morning by Peter Markey, Marketing Director at TSB Bank. Peter, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, good to be here.
So Peter, you joined the bank in the start of June, so nearly 3 months ago. How do you define your first 3 months in the role?
It's been great joining TSB. I've been here a little over 3 months now, and it's just a great brand to work on. We're a challenger bank, challenger brand, taking on the banking industry on behalf of consumers, and I'm loving it. It's great. It's a really vibrant, exciting brand and a great bunch of people.
TSB positions itself as a challenger bank, and how is that reflected in your marketing strategies overall?
The critical bit when you are a challenger brand is to have a point of difference, to stand out and not just say we're different but prove we're different. So everything from our current account that rewards customers to loans where we don't take a credit check, through to insurance that you can pick and choose the cover you want, all of our products and the service we provide all proves that we're different, and you'll see a lot more from us proving we're different too.
And Peter, to talk about mobile now, which is where I was hoping to direct the majority of this interview, how is mobile shaping your marketing, communications and ultimately your customer service strategy?
I think critically you just can't ignore mobile as a channel. We all know you just need to sit on a train now or follow people around town to know mobile is a vital part of how we live our lives, and that's true in banking as well. So from our updated banking app that's going to go live soon through to how we're changing our marketing to be more mobile friendly and mobile savvy, we believe mobile is a vital part of our communication mix.
What platforms that you're currently using at TSB are working and what perhaps is not working quite as well?
So I've been lucky enough to work on some fantastic brands over the last few years, from Post Office to Aviva, now TSB. And I guess my big learning in my last couple of jobs is that mobile is not like other channels. So you need to think differently about it, from the fact that you can target customers on the move, where they are and where they're going, through to the fact that creative is viewed and seen and consumed quite differently. So, for example, videos on Facebook need to be made differently, and you need to have words on the screen because people aren't going to be listening all the time. And I think I've learned partly the hard way and the easy way that mobile is a different media, and you have to plan differently, you have to do the creative differently, you have to give it the love, care and attention it needs as a channel.
What have you learned from your recent roles at Aviva Post Office and others in terms of what's working mobile and what's not?
So I think mobile, like any digital channel, needs to have the right level of measurement behind it. So you have very basic measurement, how many people have viewed, clicked, seen or commented perhaps on creative or banner advertising as well. But I'm a big believer in attribution as well. So using clever attribution models, looking through econometrics as well, looking to understand actually the broader role of mobile, particularly mobile video actually in the mix moving forwards. And we're making good strides on that, but I think like others we're still on a very big learning curve.
How do you measure the success of a mobile campaign?
Well, I think with mobile you've got a plethora of great opportunities to get your message across to customers. So I think from a basic level, using something like Google well for mobile search, has proved very effective for us as a brand. But Facebook is a very, very important channel for us now as well, like others. And actually, particularly using video on Facebook really helps us get across what our brand's about, the purpose of TSB, as well as what makes our products and services different. And I really like channels that can get across not just a sales message in front of you, but can really communicate the point of difference in your brand. The likes of Facebook and even Twitter do particularly well for us.
Where do you get your inspiration from a marketing perspective? I'm guessing it's now wider than just financial services or other challenger banks. So who do you look to for inspiration?
I think inspiration is really important, isn't it, for a marketeer, that otherwise you live in a sort of bubble that you imagine that you live within your own world, and your own world or your only brand is all that matters. And customers will view other advertisers and other brands on a daily basis. So I think it's really important that you always surround yourselves with best practice. So I look to our agencies, both creative and media, to keep bringing the very best to us. I think the retailers have done a great job. From John Lewis down to Sainsbury's, you've done a great job at using, I think, mobile very effectively to communicate and be very, very smart. But also look at brands that I've worked on in the past. So Post Office, they've continued the work when I was there to do great work on things like Christmas, bringing really relevant, really targeted communications and relevant content just at the moment you need it. And that's what it's all about.
Can you provide an example of a mobile campaign that you've worked on or that you've seen in the industry that you think has worked really well?
I think a campaign that I'm really proud of that I worked on at Aviva earlier in 2017 was around our Drive app, which was all about encouraging people to drive safer on the roads. And we did specific creative with our agency Adam and Eve, which was designed and also constructed and edited specifically to work well within a Facebook environment. and that performed brilliantly for us. And it was the first time we'd made something specifically to work within Facebook, rather than try and sort of cobble together and re-edit things. It was designed specifically with mobile in mind. We also worked directly with the team at Facebook, so it was designed based on Facebook's best specifications as well. And the results were fantastic. And that for me set a template for some of the work we're doing here now at TSB.
How do you ensure that your mobile strategies are reflecting your in-store experience? So how do you bridge that gap between on and offline?
I think the gap between on and offline is massively important in any form of retail, particularly retail banking. You want customers to have, as close as you can, a seamless experience. So I think, for us, the flow of data becomes really important. So knowing that someone is wanting to search for a specific product or in need of that product, like mortgages, when they come in a branch is really important. So we're really good at flowing leads from on and offline, so we can see the experience customers want, the products they want to talk about, which becomes really important. And I think that's, for me, where the beauty of digital, particularly through mobile, and a physical experience come together. You can fuse them together brilliantly, so it feels joined up to the customer, but data is at its heart.
That's interesting. That plays really well into my next question, which is around the plethora of new technologies and tools now available to a modern marketer, from chatbots to AI to mobile wallet and more. What of those are you really excited by, and what will you look to employ in your new role at TSB?
I think there's lots of new exciting innovations that get me really interested. And I think chatbots actually, if they're done well, I think can be a really powerful tool, both for customers but also for brands as well. Provided they don't become a bit like computer says and too robotic, actually the more personalised, the more targeted they can become, and the more they link through, if you need to a real person in a call centre, the better. So I've had recent good experience using Sky's chatbot through Facebook Messenger, which was a fantastic experience. Went straight from initial query to talking to a real person in the call centre, and they dealt with the query really effectively. So if it's done well, I think chatbots can be absolutely superb.
The financial service industry has traditionally been perceived to be slow moving, with some of the larger incumbents taking more time to adopt new technologies. How does TSB's positioning as a challenger bank enable it to test and iterate more quickly?
As a challenger bank and challenger brand, I think we've got a responsibility to be first to market with a number of innovations rather than following behind the pack. And I do think we have to challenge the industry and challenge the market on behalf of our customers. So for example, we just introduced iris recognition for Galaxy phones for customers wanting to use online banking, particularly through the app. Those are the sorts of innovations we'll be doing more of, bringing more things to market that customers really want and need, where we're challenging and pushing the envelope of the industry on behalf of customers. So I think it's a huge opportunity, and the challenge for us is to set the bar not just here where the industry might set it, but set it higher, set it here where customers want and need us to be.
And how are you gaining understanding into what your customers actually want and need from you as a bank from a mobile and tech perspective?
Listening to customers is really important. It always is. So we need to keep constantly in contact with customers to understand what they really want and need. So we've got a regular program from our Net Promoter Score and customer consideration surveys right through to more tailored online surveys that we do on a more regular basis to touch base with customers. So constantly listening is really important. And also listening in branch, getting that 360 view of what customers think and feel. So always be curious and always listen.
So last question, Peter. As a community-driven business media brand, we ask all of our interviewees for a recommendation of a peer in the industry or someone that they've worked with or just respect who we should try and interview next. Who would that be for you?
I think there are lots of people that I find inspiring on a daily basis in this space. So I'll give you two names. So Mark Evans from Direct Line, they're doing some fantastic work on digital content, mobile and using drones, etc. I think Keris Bright at Virgin Media is doing a terrific job there too with the brand. Very smart, very clever use of content. So I'd recommend talking to both.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.